Hey, sports fans! New York Parrot has come out with a great new show for you guys, Sports with Rich. Broadcast time 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Rich MANCUSO with Robert RIZZO as a co-host. Sports with Rich is captivating, informative, and entertaining, and it will pertain to all American sports such as soccer, football, basketball, baseball, athletics, wrestling, you name it. Get rich information from Rich MANCUSO on Sports with Rich. Parrot TV, the voice for humanity.
It's Tuesday Night Live, 10 p.m. You know that's Sports with Rich here on Parrot TV Live, YouTube, Sports with Rich. Like, comment, and subscribe. And welcome in everyone again to another segment, the quick hour we have ahead, Sports with Rich. I'm Rich MANCUSO, and there's my cohort, my buddy, young school versus old school, Robert the Wiz Rizzo. Hey, Rob.
Hey, Rich, how are we doing it today?
How was your week, my friend?
Busy weekend.
Oh, I hate sports. Too much going
baseball,
on.
So much going on. We got a lot
Too
to talk
much.
about.
We're gonna do as much as we can to wrap it up. And later in the hour, our guest will save the game, an author of a book, and we'll talk about how he sees baseball has to be changed, his vision of it, with a book he's got out. That Duke Ledley interviewed him during the past week. Then we'll talk Keep It in the Ring later and much more. Hey, Rob. The upset week this was in the Kentucky Derby. We'll talk about that. Yeah. And, of course, when you Keep It in the Ring, we'll talk about the upset in boxing. Canelo Alvarez goes down. But first, let's get it all started. Remember the hotline. Call in 347-398-2926. Also, get us in the queue. We'll try and get to your questions during the next hour. Back to the week. I know no one's going to get this one. Not even you, the Wiz. You won't get it. But we still have that Boston Red Sox World Series pin to give away if you get it right from 2018. All right, Wiz, here we go. Let's look at MLB at first. Quickly, Ronald Acuna Jr. back in the Atlanta Braves lineup and making an impact already, my friend.
Yep, he returned April 28th from a horrific ACL injury that happened last July at Marlins Park, Loan Depot Park, something like that. The Braves are 14-16, second in NL East right now. Since Acuna returned, he's on a 6-game hitting streak.
We're not going to look at that right now. Excuse me. We're going to get to that. That's going to happen. But we want to see Ronald Acuna's face here, not the Yankees having a good time at the Rangers game. We'll get to that, though.
Yeah, Acuna did it all this weekend. He had 2 home runs. He pimped a home run. He did the LeBron James celebration after. He does it all on the field and in the batter's box.
He's a catalyst to their lineup, one of the superstars in baseball, best all around. The Braves are struggling the early going, Wiz, but we know what they did last year. Late run, won the World Series. The Mets better not slack back on those Atlanta Braves. Well, they handled pretty well at Citi Field during the past week.
Yeah, they handled them pretty well. 4-game set. They split 2-2 or 3-1. But it was a good series overall, and we could see that in October or late September for the postseason.
Yeah. They fight. They play each other 3 times at the end of October and beginning of October to end the season. It could come down to that, who wins the National League East. And there's the added wild card as well. But that's a long time coming, long way to go. Well, we'll talk about those New York Mets. They continue to win. One of 3 teams in Major League Baseball with 20 wins. And Pete Alonso's got the home run track going, leading or tying the National League in RBI and in home runs.
Yeah, once he gets a piece of one, it's going 400-plus feet. That's why they call him the polar bear. This Saturday, Citi Field's giving away the polar bear bobblehead. So catch out Mets Mariners, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, I can't make that one, and you know why I can't make that game Saturday night. We're going to get to that again. Why do we keep seeing Judge? And we're going to get to that in a moment. The Mets, though, are doing it again tonight. Come from behind and down in Washington against the Nationals. And, they continually get the great hitting with 2 outs and the pitching, especially Carlos Carrasco doing it again tonight, and Tyler McGill, who's doing a job. And Jacob deGrom was put on the 60-day injured list today. He's nowhere. That's just because the Mets obtained a picture from the Chicago Cubs today. Not a major name, but that's why deGrom was moved to the 360-day. But who needs Jacob deGrom? Look at this Mets pitching staff and ERA. Right, Wiz?
No, the Mets have been picking up with starting rotation. Carrasco tonight had 6 2/3 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. So he had a good outing for a third, fourth caliber type pitcher in their rotation.
And but I think last week's outing was the only pitcher first in Major League Baseball to extend himself to 8 innings, which was impressive. Carrasco's giving them length, and so is that whole staff, and so is their bullpen doing a job, including Drew Smith. And Edwin Diaz looks to be Edwin Diaz again.
Yeah, and on top of it all, I just like to add the Mad Max watch, Max Scherzer watch. He has 49 strikeouts in this season, 3rd in the National League. So watch out for that with the Cy Young bets and everything going on.
On the other side of town here in New York, it's the Yankees. 20 wins, best record in baseball. They currently, I think they're tied tonight. You'll have that on your update in a moment, Wiz. Gleyber Torres seems to be getting his bat together, a key cog in their lineup at the bottom of the order. Got the walk-off home run at Yankee Stadium the other day where I was. You took the day off. Shame on you, but I was there. And Gleyber Torres got the walk-off home run, and he seems to be having better approaches at the plate and showing power to the opposite field. Now, that's Aaron Judge. We're going to get to him now also. But Gleyber Torres' home run caused some controversy with Chris Woodward, the manager of the Rangers, said that home run was hit in a Little League ballpark. Come on. And then he retracted the statement. Look, we know Yankee Stadium plays to their advantage with the home run ball, but if that happened to one of his guys, you wouldn't hear Woodward complaining then, the former Met, right?
No, you wouldn't hear a thing out of it. Every stadium has its gimmicks. I don't know why fans complain about Yankee Stadium so much. Look back at the Astros' old stadium. Well, this stadium with the hill, they removed that a few years back. All these stadiums have its thing. The wind in Chicago, both stadiums, the wind in San Francisco. So all that has to be put into effect with everything going on.
Shame on Woodward, my boo of the week for what he said. I couldn't believe that. Aaron Boone, the Yankees manager, handled it well, though. And the Yankees now in a stretch of 29 games in 30 days. They lost the off day with the tremendous, with the horrible rain we had in the New York area the last few days.
That was rough.
And they have, after tomorrow's matinee finale against the Toronto Blue Jays, team that's going to be on top of them all season long for that AL Division East title. Yankees go to Chicago, and then I think they after that, where did they go? Chicago and
Baltimore.
Oh, so they'll win that again. The way they're playing, they'll win those games again. That should be no problem. Yankees are not scoring any runs, which is that's an issue with this team, Wiz.
Yeah, they got to start getting it going again. But also, we got to add that they took a 3-day break in the middle of the season. Baseball players aren't used to that. So I think they'll get back into the things. Weather gets better. They'll get back to the contact hitting and the Bronx Bombers we know.
Their pitching's been superb, as we know. The Yankees pen are not allowed a run in 23.2 innings since April 29th until Michael King gave up one the other day at the stadium, and he had thrown 14 and a half scoreless innings of ball. The bullpen pitching at 1 point. His ERA all of a sudden went to 1.42 and had been below 1, which is incredible considering the amount of games the Yankees have played so far, just about 30 or less. Nestor Cortez out of the starter. This guy right now, Cy Young Award stuff he's throwing.
Yeah, he's going crazy. He's from Cuba, and he grew up in Florida. The guy does it all. He reminds me of Dontrelle Willis, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
With that delivery.
That cutter has been his great pitch, and the cutter is what's making him a Cy Young Award candidate in the early going. In fact, he threw scoreless no-hit ball yesterday in the Bronx at the stadium with 11 Ks, 7.5 innings until he threw over 100 pitches. Time to go. Don't want to overwork these pitches. They're also still in the early going. With Nestor Cortez, my vote so far for AL Player of the Year. Pitcher of the year, no doubt about it. Major League Baseball, though, is hot and heavy. 3 teams with 20 wins. The Boston Red Sox have hit a swoon early. I expect that team to play much better than what they have. And just watching to see like a team like the Pirates, as bad as they are, starting to hit. There are some teams that are starting to hit the ball, including these Washington Nationals, who scored a lot of runs the past few days.
Yeah, they've been getting it going. Josh Bell and Juan Soto, top 10 in batting average in the National League. They've been going off. You can't name a lot of the guys on the Nationals, but when they get it going, they'll beat any type of team. Dodgers, Mets.
Come on, you know Juan Soto. Come on, how do you not know him? You can name him.
Yeah, but all these other guys, they're making contributions.
Yeah, well, tell me about it. Yeah, Wiz. You're the Wiz, not me.
Yeah, no, Josh Bell, he's been going off the last week. He's strong. He's a strong first baseman, and now with the NL, he's a DH, which adds benefit for the Nationals.
And they're obviously in a rebuilding mode down there in DC.
A lot of young pitching. A lot of young pitching too.
So the power rankings we can look at as we begin the new week, or we're only here at Tuesday. You got to look at the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, and the Angels. Add the Houston Astros in that equation. But you know what? Again, as we said last week, the two East Coast teams, the two West Coast teams, AL and National League. Yankees, Mets, Dodgers, Angels. First time in Major League Baseball that's happened still.
It's crazy. Every day, every series, they're taking 2 out of 3. These teams could end up matching up in October, and I'd love to see it. Mike Trout in the postseason, we haven't seen that in a while. Ohtani, we haven't seen in the playoffs. We need to see that. Mookie Betts, you know him already. And Mets Yankees, we can go back and forth all day on. We won't do that.
And you talk about the Yankees again, that the Yankees starters and relievers have pitched to 3 runs or fewer. That, my friend, is impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive.
All right. But while we talk Yankees and all that stuff in baseball, you know, a couple of the Yankees, or a few of them, had a good time at the Rangers Stanley Cup playoff game at the Garden the other night. Let's take a look at this. I thought this was hilarious, didn't you?
Yeah.
We're going to roll that video now. We saw it twice already. So my friends at Parrot TV in the background, let's see it again. We could talk about and look at Aaron J. I think we're going to get to it now. I mean, they're copying beers, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Aaron Judge, DJ LeMahieu, and Joey Gallo. Having a good time. Hey, look, I can't fault them. Having a good time.
Yeah, to become a fan favorite in any city, all you have to do is chug a beer on camera. The fans will start cheering.
Well, no, except me. I can't be a fan favorite because I drink water all the time. I'm sorry about that. I'll have a beer once in a while. Maybe I will this weekend because you know I'm having a special day on Saturday. All right. And baseball also had a controversy once again this past week. Madison Bumgarner, he is a burger to me. Bumgarner. You know why I call him a burger? Because he destroyed the Mets in the wild card game in 2016, one game. But he's a great pitcher, still a veteran, great pitcher. Got into it with the umpire, Dan Bellino, Bumgarner with the Arizona Diamondbacks. I can't fault Madison Bumgarner with this one. Let's take a look, talk over it a little bit. Give me your thoughts, Wiz.
Yeah, we see these things every inning. They get checked every time, but it takes less than a second. So with this one, it took them maybe like a minute or two to stare at Bumgarner. And once Bumgarner noticed, he flipped out. I've never seen Bumgarner like that. He had to get hold back by like 5
This had nothing to do. You know, social media blew up because of the way Bellino, the umpire, was checking his hand. It looks like there was a love triangle going on. But it had nothing to do with that. It had to do with Bumgarner objecting to a strike call. He thought it was a strike, and it wasn't. But that turned into a very serious situation with the umpire and the player. In fact, the umpire, here it is. Look at this. Wiz, that thing was out of hand.
That's a little love connection you see right there.
Yeah, but from the press box vantage point, I see this all the time, but not like that.
No, nothing.
I mean, this is the rule of sticky substances. No more. The umpires have to check that. I think it's a ridiculous rule, and in this case, here's another boo of the week because this umpire Dan Bellino drew the line here. Later apologized, offered a public apology about all of it. All said and forgotten right now. They're friends again. They can now shake hands instead of feeling each other's hands. All right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's the baseball update for now. We'll get a little more later. And now, Let's go to the NBA.
Yeah, the NBA
playoffs continue.
The NBA's been off to a hot start. Every day it's something new. But let's start off with the Celtics Bucks. It's 2-2 right now. Giannis versus Tatum, that's the headline. But these teams are ready. They're ready for the finals, both teams. I think whoever comes out of this battle is going to represent the East in the finals. So it's 2-2 right now. Tomorrow night is Game 5. It's in Boston. So no Middleton still. Marcus Smart, lingering injuries in and out of the lineup. We'll see what happens. Al Horford's been going on and off with the Celtics. So there you go there. I think he's 32 years old. So you wouldn't expect it out of him.
Now, what about the Mavs and the Phoenix Suns? And Luka Doncic. And he has been a destroyer to the Suns. Frankly, Wiz, I didn't think this series would be at this point as Game 5 continue. Game 5's tipping off in a moment.
Yeah, I said it last week. You can't prepare for Luka. He's going to drop 40 plus on you guys every night, no matter the opponent, no matter the defense.
No, they're not my guys. They're not my team. I just root for them. One of you, all you young guys, and all you young fans, young schoolers, I call you guys, but stop saying my team, you guys. I root for them. That's all.
Going back to Luka, he has 26 points or more in each game this series. So Luka can single-handedly win the game for them. Jalen Brunson, he's a free agent this summer. He's about to make a huge bag regarding his paycheck.
Does this series go 7 games?
I believe it goes 7 games. Out of all 4 matchups, this has the destiny to go all 7.
But the Suns hardly lose on their home court. We know that.
That's true, but like I said, Luka, Jalen Brunson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber, they have a good squad over there, so they can pull it off.
All right, and another thing that happened in Game 4 the other night, Chris Paul and some of the fans were harassing Chris Paul's wife, and it got a little out of hand there in Dallas at the AT&T Center. Shame on those fans for what they did. Paul, his wife, had to get escorted out by security to prevent any type of potential harm. I think the NBA has to crack down on that, where the players are not as close to the fans as was the case, or a family member in that case by the bench. Don't you think?
Yeah, you hate to see that, especially on Mother's Day. Like all these fan interactions, we talk about it week by week. The water bottles getting thrown, fans getting ejected. It's just you got to focus on the game, and these guys are getting yelled at, cursed at, thrown at. It's just too much.
It's out of hand. More security. Adam Silver, NBA commissioner. I hope you're listening. All right, Seth Curry and those Warriors, and Seth Curry with his tremendous range from 3-point. I mean, this guy's an all-time leader in a 3-point shot, and he continues to do it in the first round of the West against the Grizzlies, Wiz.
Yeah, he had 32 points last night, and he's up 3-1 in the series now. So just one more game eliminates the Memphis Grizzlies. No Ja Morant for the rest of the playoffs because of a messed up right knee. So it's tough to see Ja go like that. He's one of the best young players in our game, and I love watching him play.
I was hoping we had a nice shot of Seth Curry. I don't know where it is because it shows him poetry in motion, shooting from that range. I don't know where it is. My guys at Parrot TV, I don't know where you are, but we're going to move on. But that's it for the NBA postseason report right now. Wiz, let's look at the first upstate of the past week. And, you know, I'm not a betting man, but if you bet on this horse, Rick Strike, who won the Kentucky Derby as an 80-1 underdog, you made a lot of money.
Yeah, you made a lot of money. For example, the other bets for that, 80-1, the Marlins to win the World Series, the Chicago Bears to win the Super Bowl. So think about that again. 80-1, $5 wins what? $400?
Yeah.
$5. Yeah. So there you go. That's horse betting for you. You got to be in it to win it.
I don't know where Rick Strike went, but we did have a photo of him also that I wanted to show. Now he goes for a possible Triple Crown, the second leg of it, at the Preakness Stakes at Pimlico in Baltimore in 2 weeks. And then, of course, it culminates with the Belmont Stakes in the New York area, Elmont, New York, at the beginning of June. So Rick Strike, one of the upsets of the week, a horse that came from out of nowhere. And the Wiz, this horse was put in that race, this big field, the day before, which makes it even more sports story of the year right now.
Yeah, that's an incredible story all in all. Even the coaches, the trainers, everybody that was associated with that horse had no idea going on with the interview after the fact.
All right, that's it. And I didn't bet on it. So if I did and I had known, I wouldn't be here right now. You know that. But I'm not a betting man. Everyone knows that. All right, we move on now. This is the playoff season, and the Stanley Cup playoffs continue. And how about the New York Rangers and the disappointment in this series against the Penguins? What's wrong with the Rangers? They had that triple overtime game 1 win, and they just pooped after that.
Yeah, it all comes down to Igor Shesterkin, the goalie. If he's playing well, the Rangers will play well. He's the recipient or the finalist of the goalie award. I'm blanking on the name of the award right now, but he's the finalist for it. So it just comes down to him. As far as he goes, that's how far the Rangers go. They're down 3-1.
They're not really, and you know what happened too is the power play is not working for them.
Yeah,
that's where you could capitalize, and they're just not doing it.
Yeah, they got to convert on those. They play tomorrow night at the Garden, Game 5, hopefully to avoid the elimination against the Pens.
And, of course, Toronto and the Lightning. Tampa Bay looking to become, what, a 3-time Stanley Cup champion, right?
Yeah, they're going on 3. Last night I was watching it. It's tied 2-2. 17 goals in the last 2 games combined between the two. So it's a lot
they know how to score,
Yeah, high offense games. Right.
And how about the Islanders firing Barry Trox, a coach that took the Capitals to the Stanley Cup about 4 years ago? He came to New York, coached the Islanders with all that success, and that's it. They gave up on him. They had to go. You can't blame them. That team was hindered by COVID. They played their first 20 games on the road as the UAB Arena wasn't ready to open yet. They were in Elmont, New York. And here it is. Barry Trotz took the fall. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it came out of nowhere yesterday morning or 2 mornings ago. I didn't expect it at all, but there was rumors that he might retire also. So it might be better both ways. So we'll see in the next coming weeks with the new hire, see what rumors and stuff.
See, as I said last week, Wiz, no matter what you do in sports, whether it be a coach on that side or even us in the media, you can't make everyone happy.
Yeah.
Make it almost 40 years. I know that.
Yeah, things get through.
Yeah.
So.
All right, we're coming now to the best part of the program, everyone. What is it, Wiz?
Fact of the week.
It is the fact of the week. The hotline to call is 347-398-2926. Reach us at parrottv.com. YouTube Live, Sports with Rich, like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll get your questions answered in the cube as well if you do tune in. Now, fact of the week. Get it? Still holding over? Boston Red Sox. And if you watch, you looked it up, you're still not going to know because you don't know the question yet. Can't get my facts of the week. Boston Red Sox 2018 World Series Championship pin. Here is the fact of the week. And, of course, we talked about the Kentucky Derby moments ago. And right now, the question pertains to the Kentucky Derby or any type of sports race. All right. Rich Strike was the 81 odds on, he wasn't favored. 80-1 underdog, as they say. Now, when you go to a racetrack, and I don't do it much, and I started my career, working in a harness track in the New York area, Yonkers Raceway. But when you go to a track, your bet wins about 39% or less all the time. Now, you might be too young to even know that, Wiz, okay? The question, or the fact I want to know, the average all bets with a chance of winning, what is the percentage? Remember, when you go to the racetrack, your bet wins about 39% or less all the time, unless you're in on it, okay? And I'm not in on it, neither are you. But the average all bets with a chance of winning, what is the percentage? Come up with the answer. I'll give you that Boston Red Sox championship pin. Don't have the answer. give you the answer later in the show. Think about it, Wiz. I want you to all think about it. We're going to take our first quick break and come right back and regroup. We're going to talk some Keep It in the Ring. Up next, Sports with Rich with Robert the RIZZO live on Parrot TV, YouTube, Sports with Rich. Like, comment, and subscribe. Back after this.
Hey, sports fans! New York Parrot has come out with a great new show for you guys, Sports with Rich. Broadcast time 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Rich MANCUSO with Robert RIZZO as a co-host. Sports with Rich is captivating, informative, and entertaining, and it will pertain to all American sports such as soccer, football, basketball, baseball, athletics, wrestling, you name it. Get rich information from Rich MANCUSO on Sports with Rich. Parrot TV.
Back with Sports with Rich, Parrot TV, live Tuesday night with Robert the Wiz RIZZO. Give us a call on the hotline, 347-398-2926, or leave us a question in the cube. We'll answer it for you. Wiz, let's get to Keep It in the Ring. You know what segment this is now, my favorite part of the program, and a lot to talk about here as we get, first of all, and I hope we have the image up on this, because we did not, the images I had put in the first segment of the show didn't go up, and I want people to see this image, because this was the other upset of the week. Though I knew that he would win and defeat Canelo Alvarez, gave him a second defeat in the light heavyweight. Dmitry Bivol from Russia came in and got the majority decision, or the unanimous decision, over the face of boxing, probably the best fighter on the planet, as I wrote on NewYorkSportsDay.com and LatinoSports.com. Canelo Alvarez defeats Dmitry Bivol at one. Bivol defeats Canelo Alvarez. Right now, the upset of the year in boxing. Though I had predicted, Wiz, as you know, that Canelo, this fight would go to distance, and Bivol would win this fight, because I've seen him up close a few times. Great Dmitry Bivol was, because he has the technical skills to beat a Canelo Alvarez. And for now, Canelo Alvarez has to look at not having the rematch with Bivol, which he wants. Stay at 168, where he has the unified 168 titles.
Yeah, he kept saying, Dmitry, after the fight, that he tried to be unpredictable. Canelo was reading him throughout the rounds. So it came down to the defense and being unpredictable, like I said. And Bivol also said Canelo was rocking his arms. His arms looked dead after.
That's right. Canelo lost his stamina at 175. So for Canelo, should stay at 168 and get David Benavidez coming up in a few weeks. Benavidez next weekend in Phoenix is fighting in an IBF title eliminator. Maybe he can get Canelo. So we'll see where that goes. This weekend, it's going to be Charlo and Castano, the rematch, 154 unification title on Showtime. Going to be a good fight. I think that's going to go decision. And I think Charlo is once again going to prevail and have all the belts at 154. We still keep it in the ring, and we look at Cal Brook from England, retires after a great career as a welterweight. And if you remember, he lost the titles to the number one welterweight in the world, or number two welterweight in the world, that being Errol Spence Jr. Ryan Garcia, the lightweight young sensation, today announced that Isaac Cruz, with Pitbull Cruz, before Deontay Davis, is going to be, it was ordered by the WBC, title eliminator. He will get finally against Pitbull Cruz. So that's going to be a fight to watch for at sometime late summer, early fall. Once again, we had a bad week looking at Diego Corrales, the former champion, 140, 147, even below that. A good friend of mine passed away 15 years ago unexpectedly on a motorcycle accident. Had that anniversary of his death this past week. Diego Corrales is always in my heart and to many fans in pro boxing. And now, Wiz, let's talk about UFC. You saw this fight Saturday night, and tell us about Charlie Oliveira. Justin, what was his name?
Justin Gaethje. I felt like the news started on Friday with the weigh-in. Charles Oliveira was forced to vacate his title because he failed to weigh in at the correct weight. He missed by 0.5 pound, so he had to be vacated of the title. So it came down.
You're a UFC fan, and I don't follow it. I don't like it. Too brutal. I'm a boxing guy. Old school, so I can't stand it,
Yeah.
What is it with Charlie Oliveira? Why is he so popular?
He's popular because the way he fights. He's like I said before, he's so unpredictable. Like, he'll come at you with the kicks. He'll come at you with the hands. He'll grapple you. He made Gaethje submit in the first round of Saturday night. So he has it all, and he's from Brazil. So like in UFC, it goes a long distance, that South American fan base.
Okay, so you expect to see him again? Rematch with this guy? Who does he get next? Conor McGregor?
I don't think so yet. McGregor has a few fights to go. I don't know the realignments because there's no title right now. No one has the championship because it's Oliveira is the #1 contender because he failed the weight. If Gaethje won, he would have got the belt. But since Oliveira won, he's the #1 contender.
I don't want to talk UFC no more. And you don't want to know you don't know what I think of UFC and the initials, what they stand for. If I said that on the air, even though this is the internet, on YouTube and Parrot TV, I would be banned for good. I'd have an early retirement than expected. We go to WWE, keep it in the ring some more. Ronda Rousey. Oh, no, there they. Oh, okay. Well, they're a little late, but there's Diego Corrales. Better late than never. We saw Canelo before that. I'm sure there's an explanation at Parrot TV behind the scenes about the images, and there is your boy Oliveira's, right? With the submission hold. I don't want to see no more of that. And now we get the, I guess at Parrot TV, they went off their break. Ronda Rousey. There she is, the new WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, defeating Charlotte Flair this past weekend at WWE Backlash. Flair is going to take some time off now. Charlotte the Queen. Ronda Rousey now looking at some of the others coming after her title as the WWE moves on, and she is the champion again, this time WWE SmackDown Women's Champion. Good match that was, too, Wiz. Her and Charlotte Flair went at it. But the match of the night at WWE Backlash was that with Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. And we're hearing news now about Roman Reigns, WWE Unified Champion, heavyweight, whatever you want to call him, going to take time off, and he's going to be back in the summer. So I don't know how they're going to handle the title picture there. But then again, the WWE storylines and the WWE creators, sometimes I don't think they're in left field completely, as they say. And I don't know what they're doing. But Roman Reigns taking some time off. But this guy, Tony Khan, AEW, All Elite Wrestling, I'm going to be there tomorrow night in Omaha, New York, UAB Arena. AEW comes back for their second stint there. I had a good talk with Tony Khan yesterday. My feature on Khan can be seen and read NewYorkSportsDay.com. Gave me a lot of great insights about the future of this organization. They don't care about competing with WWE, but Tony Khan did say this. He loves the fans. He loves the interaction. He loves how the guys in the locker room connect with the fans. It's a great locker room. I'm going to see that up front tomorrow night in Omaha, New York at AEW Dynamite live on TNT at TBS at 10 p.m. Also doesn't care how the ratings are. He says they're pretty good right now. And get this, Wiz, looking at a streaming network for AEW fans where pay-per-views, they have 4 of them now, will increase. The pay-per-view business in wrestling and boxing is slowly diminishing. They're looking to go into the streaming route. So read my piece on Tony Khan and AEW, who's also Wiz, co-owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars in the NFL.
Wow, that's impressive. He's doing a lot every day. He's got stuff going on. So like even with the Jaguars, they drafted Trevor Lawrence last year. So
yeah,
a lot of upside with his franchises and his businesses.
I could tell you read my piece on Tony Khan because that was my lead in that story, my friend. Okay, so that's Keep It in the Ring this week. Hotline number 347-398-2926. Leave us a question in the cube. This is Parrot TV, Sports with Rich, live on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. Quick update by the Wiz. Let's do that, then go to another quick break, and we're going to come back with our special guest, Kevin Gallagher of Saving the Game. Wiz, get the brief update.
Yep, the Yankees are currently down to the Blue Jays 5-3, I believe in the top of the ninth, bottom 8, around there. And the Mets are, the Mets are up 4-2 in the ninth inning right now against the Nationals. They started down 2-0, and then in the sixth inning, they scored 3 runs to come back. It feels like every night the Mets are coming back or doing something wild.
They are. That's what's making them team good with Buck Showalter. Yep. And also, they're getting that pitching, and they're getting everything. Yeah. Yep. I'm telling you, they're exciting. So are the Yankees. You're exciting. I'm exciting. And we're going to give you the fact of the week again. If you can't get the answer, I'll give it to you. Back in a moment. Sports with Rich on Parrot TV and YouTube. Stay with us. Be right back.
Hey, sports fans! New York Parrot has come out with a great new show for you guys, Sports with Rich. Broadcast time 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Rich MANCUSO with Robert RIZZO as a co-host. Sports with Rich is captivating, informative, and entertaining, and it will pertain to all American sports such as soccer, football, basketball, baseball, athletics, wrestling, you name it. Get rich information from Rich MANCUSO on Sports with Rich. Parrot TV, the voice for humanity.
Hey, Kevin.
It is Kevin Gallagher, and we're going to welcome him in. This is Sports with Rich here live on Parrot TV and YouTube. And I welcome in now Kevin Gallagher, the author of a great book called Save the Game. Robert the Wiz Rizzo wrote a nice piece about Kevin Gallagher on LatinoSport.com if you want to get filled in a little more. Kevin, welcome to the program, and congratulations on your initiative about saving the game, which teaches young kids to hit so they don't quit.
Good evening. How are you, Rich?
I'm good. So tell us a little bit about Save the Game and the initiative you have, and most of all, teach your kid to hit. A great book that you have out right now. It's been out a couple of years, and I'm glad I read it. It's a good read and very, very instructive and gets to the point.
Yeah, so thank you. So yeah, I wrote that book 2 years ago. It's been out about 2 years now. So matter of fact, just last week, the National Hall of Fame up in Cooperstown called me and wants the book for sale up there. So it's on sale now in the bookstore up in the Hall of Fame, which is pretty exciting for me. But I wrote that book back in 2020. And the reason I wrote the book was basically I want to have ordinary kids learn how to hit a baseball. Exceptional kids, the kids that can wake up at midnight, hit a line drive, they're good. They're okay. But there's the overwhelming majority of kids need to be taught how to hit. And most parents don't know how to teach kids to hit. And most coaches at the youth level don't know how to teach. They throw batting practice and hope you hit the ball. And if you do, they make a lineup out. So a lot of kids wind up quitting the game early because it's embarrassing to strike out over and over and over with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your mother, your father, strangers in the stands. And I always say the longest walk in sports is that walk from home plate back to the dugout after you struck out again with your bat on your shoulder, and everybody's saying, get him next time, Joey. But Joey, after a while, says, I'm not hanging around here. He's out of here. So baseball loses a lot of the fans early.
Yes.
What I'm trying to do is teach them how to hit a ball so they stay with the game and have fun. The book is not designed to make major leaguers, although this process that I teach in this book, Rich, is used in the major leagues for 100 years. It's out of style now. We're trying to bring it back. But it's a process where kids can hit the ball and have fun and stay with the game. And what that does is it creates a Major League Baseball customer for life.
And also in your book, you add the parental aspect.
A lot of authors don't do that.
I'm having trouble hearing you. I'm sorry.
Sorry. You revealed the parent aspect. So when parents teaching their children the baseball just in general, how to hit the ball, but how parents don't know what they're teaching.
Yeah, that's the problem. Hitting a baseball is one of the hardest things to do. Teaching someone how to hit a baseball is very difficult. In this book, I talk about the state of the game, why the game is losing youth participation, and why the game itself is losing attendance and TV viewership, et cetera, which led me to Save the Game, which I want to talk about in a minute. But this book here will teach an ordinary parent within 45 minutes. If you read this book, and then in the back, there's an 8-step process. It's around top hand contact hitting, which I did not invent. That's been around for years. I invented a process that will make sense to a parent to be able to make sense to their child and teach them how to hit. Not throw BP, not coach them, not help them, but teach them. And they'll understand why they have the swing that they do. And basically, to give you a quick synopsis of the swing, as compared to the launch angle swing we see today, or the power swing, which is an upward cut swing. If the ball is coming in on one plane, you're going up on another. There's only one intersection point. Maybe you missed math class that day, but there's only one intersection point. The process we teach is top hand, which is designed to get the barrel of the bat on the same plane of the ball as quickly as you can for as long as you can to create multiple points of contact along the way. Now, for a little kid, mom and dad wants to hit the home run and win the game, right? Be a hero. Most kids want to hit a ground ball to short, get on by an error, slide in a second, get dirty, maybe score a run, high-five their friends, go to school and talk about it tomorrow. That's what they want. I want the kid to be the happiest kid in the field, maybe not the best. But if they do that, they're going to stick with baseball, and we're going to create a baseball fan.
Absolutely. Great point. Kevin Gallagher from Save the Game has his book out, Teach Your Kid to Hit. Rich MANCUSO, Robert the RIZZO. Wiz, you could jump in this as well. Kevin, I in particular, this stood out to me in the book, where you said his desire to help change the experience kids have playing the game and to increase to the enjoyment of watching at all times. Wow, you hit it on the money right there, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, most kids don't know how to play ball, don't know how to hit. So many kids get pushed to the end of the bench. They don't get in the game. They wind up quitting the game. There's my second edition. I see you have the first edition of the book there. The second edition of the book has a story about a guy by the name of Dave F. Dave F. wrote me after I wrote the book. He's the first guy that responded to me. And he said to me, "Thank you, Kevin." He said 7 words, Rich. He said, "Thank you, Kevin. I am that kid." Now, he's 64 years old. He didn't say I was that kid. He said, "I am that kid. I wanted desperately to play baseball. I cried out when somebody teach me. Nobody knew how. I wound up at the end of the bench. I wound up getting cut. What that did to my self-esteem, the friends I chose, the girls I dated, the parties I went to, it was all affected that." And he remembers that 50 years later, where he's saying, "Kevin, I am that kid." So I want more kids to be able to play the game, hit the ball, have fun, and as we segue into Save the Game. The game is slowly losing, attendance and viewership. And I really want to get into that. And one way to combat that is we got to change the game up top to make it more entertaining. And that's what Save the Game is about. But we also got to teach the kids the proper way down below, because Major League Baseball and youth baseball will connect.
Yeah. Save the Game is an initiative you have to improve the game with Jeff Fry and I believe his name is that Pat Greg Hagan. How do you pronounce this? Greg Hagan.
Pat Hagan.
Briefly, Kevin, because we don't have much more time on this, but how did this all come together, and why did it come together?
Well, it came together out of the book, right? I started writing the book, and with the research, I began to realize how many kids are not playing the game today. So here's the deal. The average age of a Major League Baseball fan is 57 years old. That means you got a lot of guys in their 60s and 70s, okay? So as they age out and move on, any business needs to create new customers. So you got to fill up who's moving on. And Major League Baseball right now is not doing that. The youth are not engaged with Major League Baseball. They've moved on to other faster-paced sports, NBA, UFC, MMA, Premier Soccer League, NFL, gaming places. They grew up with different generational habits and trends, and any business needs to pay attention to that. And the game of baseball has slowed down with this power swing, where there's more strikeouts, more home runs, which is only a 30-second event when they run around the bases and sit down. What we're trying to bring back in baseball is the contact hitting, which creates putting the ball in play. And when you put the ball in play, the ballet of baseball begins. Everybody's in motion. Even the umpires are moving. Right now, the run production is dependent on the home run primarily. So you get 2 walks and a swing, you get 3 runs. But it's a 30-second event. Rallies get people on their feet for 10, 15 minutes with their hats on backwards, towels going around, and it provides entertainment, tension, suspense, and in action. And that's what's lacking, and that's why the kids aren't watching the game, and that's why they're not going to the ball field. So we got to fix it up top.
And you're bringing up points that a lot of the veteran baseball scouts at the ballpark tell me all the time. Everything you're saying, Kevin, is so true.
Well, our goal is to get 1 million signatures online. We're in the process of doing that to get Major League Baseball's attention. I'll tell you right now, I'll give you a scoop here. We got Major League Baseball's attention already. They've reached out to us already. So I'm already talking to them about a potential solution, and we're moving in the right direction with that. We need to show the owners and the GMs that in 15 years, their game could be a third-tier sport. If you don't replace the people who are moving on, the older fan, and the younger kids are going other places, you're going to be a third-tier sport. Right now, the youth participation in 2008 was at 16.5%. It's down to 9% right now. The World Series,
that's startling. That
World
really
Series
is.
In 1980 had 44 million people. In 2003, at 25. Last year at 11. We projected to be at 5 million in 2039. So where we're going with this is that baseball is going to be a second, third tier sport. We want to fix that. We want to fix it now. The owners are primarily,
but it might be difficult to fix. It might be just way over, where you can't fix it. Let's face it. We're coming out of a labor dispute, a lockout, and then the rule changes. And a guy like me, you could relate to this because you're around my age bracket, how the rules change and the contracts and all this. But the rules and the ridiculous, the shift and this and that. I mean, and how youngsters, as you say, and how I see it as well, at the littlest ball level of playing baseball, how the pitchers, these young kids, are taught to throw at 90 miles, and how their hitting approach too. It's all changed. Yep. The game is not the same. It's not the same.
They've switched to it. They've switched to an all-power game. So the all-power game is this: trying to hit the ball as hard as you can every time up with the uppercut swing. Creates strikeouts, walks. Creates deeper counts. It creates it's over 4 minutes between balls put in play. Rich, you could go make a bologna sandwich, walk your dog, come back in, the same guys at bat. Kids aren't going to watch this. Kids aren't going to watch this. So we got to change that. And what we got to change is put the ball in play. You put the ball in play, everybody's moving. I'll tell you real quick. So in football, it's not the length of the game, Rich. It needs to be shortened, but it's the pace inside there. If you don't fix that, football had playoffs a couple months ago. They were all 3.5, 4 hour games. They were great games. Nobody complained about the length because it was exciting. So in football, the excitement comes from the drive, not the touchdown. 10 yards down the field, 3rd and 6, pick up 7, 4th and 1, we're going for it. 10 minutes down the field, we're waving towels. In baseball, the drive is the rally. It's for base hit, another hit, guy gets thrown out at home, ball gets away, double steal, hit behind the runner. Everybody's in motion. The bats are on backwards. It provides tension, action, entertainment. Baseball's in the entertainment business. They're not entertaining their customers.
It is all about the money. All sports is, but baseball in particular. This is Kevin Gallagher. The book is called Teach Your Kid to Hit, published by KG Publishing. My Wiz, Robert Rizzo, wrote a great feature about Kevin Gallagher on latinosports.com.
Nice
Log in and read that. And it's Save the Game. That's his organization, and trying to teach your kids to hit so they don't quit. Kevin, I can't tell you how much I appreciate this and taking the time and educating many of us, your perspectives on all of this. And I hope Major League Baseball does listen to your ideas. And they can definitely use a guy like you to improve this game.
We are talking. So, hey, the website that I want people to go to sign that petition so we can get Major League Baseball's attention even more is savethegameus.com. So savethegameus.com. Please go there.
We'll remember that, Wiz. We'll remember to keep pushing that. I wish you the best of luck, Kevin, on your initiatives and to going forward with this. We're here to help you any way we can. I'm a baseball guy. So is the Wiz. So are a lot of other people. But if it doesn't change, especially on that level of youth, then we're all in trouble. Thank you, Kevin Gallagher. Wiz, that was great. That was great. And thank you for hooking him up on the program this week, Wiz, because his points are so valid and so true. And like I told him a little while ago, teach your kids to hit. As the scouts tell me in the ballpark all the time, how much the game has changed, especially the veteran scouts, and how youngsters are not learning to play this game the right way. So great points. Great to have him on, Wiz.
Yeah, we got to bring action back to the game.
Yeah.
The game's about contact hitting, line drives, the rallies, like he said. That's the fan interactions. That's what makes people want to go back to the ballpark. Turn on your television every night to watch baseball. We need that back.
Without a doubt.
We need that back.
Definitely was a very interesting segment, and I want to keep in touch with Kevin, as you will, to see where we go with this initiative of Save the Game. All right. Hotline 347-398-2926. Get us in the queue. We're still waiting for you. Fact of the week. Does anybody have the answer yet? You don't, Wiz, do you?
No, I still
you
gotta think
never get
about it.
You never
I'm
get it.
still
Forget about it.
brainstorming. I'm still brainstorming.
Yeah, Brad, you have plenty of time to go on Google, you young school guy that does that all the time. You know, guys like you spend more time on those phones Googling things than you would go into a library where I learned. You know that? It's incredible. It really is.
Everything's on Twitter and Google. That's all I need.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be able to do a show like this if it wasn't for, so I should shut my mouth. Sports with Rich, Parrot TV live, 10 p.m. live Tuesday night, YouTube live, Sports with Rich. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be back to wrap it up with some little this and that stuff and talk about next week. Back after this. Stay with us.
Hey, sports fans! New York Parrot has come out with a great new show for you guys, Sports with Rich. Broadcast time 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Rich MANCUSO with Robert RIZZO as a co-host. Sports with Rich is captivating, informative, and entertaining, and it will pertain to all American sports such as soccer, football, basketball, baseball, athletics, wrestling, you name it. Get rich information from Rich MANCUSO on Sports with Rich. Parrot TV, the voice for humanity.
All right, final 10 minutes of this fast-paced hour. As always, Rich MANCUSO, Sports with Rich. He's the whiz, Robert RIZZO. You can get us here now. Give us a call, 347-398-2926, or put a question in the queue. We'll get back to you. We're on all social media platforms live every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Thank you for your support and your continued support. Spread the word. It's only going to get bigger and better, Wiz. And I'm telling you, I got a great young co-host here who's ready to take over for me in about a year, right? Is that what it's going to be?
I don't know. You got to call that. That's up to you.
Oh, yeah, it's going to happen soon. All right. Hey, Wiz, I see that baseball, the Yankees won another game and 2 more home runs tonight at the Little League ballpark that Chris Woodward called. Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, good pitching again, same old story. Yankees win their 21st game.
Yeah, Aaron Judge walked it off, 3-run homer. I'm just finding out the news on my phone, so that's his 10th homer of the season, already in double digits. I feel like the season's just starting. This guy's an animal, and every Yankee fan's worried about the contract still, worry about his performance on the field, and you'll know he's worth it.
How about that yesterday? We go back to baseball. I'm going to look this up because I have a very short memory sometimes. What happened there in was it St. Louis Cardinals yesterday? Had a game of a game. What was his name again? You sent it to my attention, by the way.
Which one? Cortez had the no-hit bid.
No, Josh Naylor's late game heroics. Monday night, Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, Josh Naylor.
What did he do? Solo home run? What did he do? He launched a grand slam to send the game into extras. 2 innings later, 3-run homer to get the comeback win for the Guardians, and that was never happened before.
Yeah, he had 2 homers and 8 RBIs. When you
brought it to my attention. You didn't remember that?
The only thing I remember is him running around the bases. If you see this video, he looks so riled up. He's punching stuff in the dugout.
Hey, you know what? The Guardians lead baseball, I believe, in runs scored, believe it or not.
Yeah,
don't put them out of the picture in the American League Central. That's a good team, despite the record not being where it should be. You know?
Jose Ramirez, Franmil Reyes. You wrote about them, Jimenez and Rosario. So they have
2 former Mets. Yeah,
they have young stars. It's just a tough division, the AL Central, with the Twins, White Sox, Royals. So
Yeah.
I think they'll stay in it. It's just a matter of that September run. Who clinches the AL Central?
No, I did get a call on the hotline, and I wasn't able to take it because we've been rambling on and on with this and that. But anyway, let's go to the MLS. Go to the MLS. Sorry if I didn't get your call this week. I'll take it next week or answer your question. NYCFC having trouble scoring goals, but this guy, Sean Johnson, got his record 20th clean slate at Citi Field Sunday against Kansas City FC. Sean Johnson, the goalie, is 20th clean slate. NYCFC having trouble scoring goals, but the Golden Boot Award winner from last year, their top scorer in the MLS, Castellanos, he was hurt with a lower back. But 0-0. They call that nil in the MLS. Nil.
Yeah, that was
and then so the NYCFC playing in the Cup. I believe the Vancouver Cup. They have a game that doesn't count in MLS standings tomorrow night over in Queens around St. John's University. Back at Citi Field Saturday night against the Columbus Crew. You never know where they're playing, Wiz. They're all over the place.
No, you just have to do a coin flip every time they play.
Yeah.
It's either Yankee or Citi Field, even in Jersey sometimes. You never know. But
exciting team to watch.
I was gonna say they show that championship pedigree from last year. A lot of returning guys, Castellanos, Johnson. So, like they show that veteran leadership night in and night out that a lot of teams are lacking throughout the MLS.
Let's talk a little NFL before we wrap it up. Hey, you heard about Tom Brady today, right?
Yeah.
He's not retired yet, but he's got his plan.
Yeah, terrific time.
He's got his plan. He's going to jump to the broadcast booth, be a Fox Sports analyst for the NFL telecast when he decides to retire, whenever that be. Then again, I don't know when I'm retiring either. And I do what I do now. Maybe I'll retire and play football, go in the NFL. I can do it.
The money
what he can do, I can do. I won't make the money he made, though. And how about the NFL saying they're going to play games in London the next 3 years on a regular basis? They're looking to expand across the pond.
Yeah, that's
you ready to go? You ready to take a trip to London, Wiz?
I'd love to. That's how you grow the game. You travel. You that's how expand the league. Hopefully, grow newer fan bases.
That's interesting because MLB is looking to expand across the pond in London. They play over there once in a while.
Yeah,
looking for that. Are you doing anything Christmas Day this year?
Ooh, that's a random question, but I gotta see.
No. It has nothing to do with me giving you a gift. Oh, you got to do. You're gonna have to do that. You do that for me this weekend, and you know why. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And keep your mouth shut. Don't tell people why. But Christmas Day usually belongs to the NBA, but not this year because the NFL is going to have a prime time. They're going to have NFL games prime time on Amazon Prime, I believe, as the Dolphins and the Rams. They said that today. What do you think of that, Wiz?
Yeah, Dolphins and the Rams. It's a good matchup. Tua versus Stafford, the former.
So are you going to be watching the NFL on Christmas Day?
I'm going to be honest with you. These nights, like last weekend, I'm going to have 3 TVs set up, maybe 4 with my computer. I don't like missing out and watching the DVR versions. So I watch on my phone.
Right.
I watch on an iPad.
I wanted a short, simple answer. Okay. You gave it, Wiz. That's good.
All right.
All right. Next week on the program, by the way, tune in because former New York Jets special assistant coach and New Orleans Saints special assistant coach in the NFL and a head coach at one time, Mike Westhoff, has a new book out about the kicking game, how things are changing in the NFL, just like we got from Kevin Gallagher with baseball. I'm looking forward to that next week, Riz. Kevin Westhoff will join us on the program and talk about his new book and NFL and how that's changed as well, especially the kicking game.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a great interview. Right. Learn a bunch about the game during the off season. So I'm looking forward to it for sure. I'd like to shout out Matt Zeigen for commenting and Luis Katana for commenting. Mm-hmm. We appreciate that. The fan interaction goes a long way. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Fact of the week answer. Did you get it?
I don't have it.
All right. Well, it dealt with the Kentucky Derby and horse racing. Go to the track. The bet wins about 39% less of all the time. What is the average all-time bets with a chance of winning when you go to the racetrack? Harness, thoroughbred track, whatever. Got it? No. You didn't get it, right? Of course not. No one got it. I'll give you the answer because only Rich MANCUSO comes up with these crazy facts of the week. 35% will win a bet. Chances of winning when you go. I could say this. It happened to me once, and that was it. All right? And on that note, Wiz, great hour. Went fast. Apologize for some of those graphics not going up on time, but we're getting it straight and better every week. And again, we want to thank you all for being a support of Sports with Rich on Parrot TV, YouTube Live. Wiz, any final comments?
Yeah, we appreciate you guys for tuning
It's
in.
packed sports week, as always. We'll be at Mets Mariners on Friday and a tons of other stuff next week. So tune in
and
to the show.
Ring 786 at Twitter and Facebook.com, Rich MANCUSO, LatinoSports.com, NewYorkSportsDay.com, as well as the Wiz Robert Rizzo. As always, till next week, 10 p.m. live on Parrot TV and YouTube Live, right here, Sports with Rich. Rob, Wiz, what do you say as we sign off again?
Keep it in the ring.
Keep it in the ring, everyone. Talk to you next week. Thank you. Sports with Rich. Till next week.
Hey, sports fans. New York Parrot has come out with a great new show for you guys. Sports with Rich. Broadcast time 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. With Rich MANCUSO with Robert Rizzo as a co-host. Sports with Rich is captivating, informative, and entertaining. And it will pertain to all American sports such as soccer, football, basketball, baseball, athletics, wrestling, you name it. Get rich information from Rich MANCUSO on Sports with Rich. Parrot TV, the voice for